What's up, everybody? It's Broken Bones here, and welcome back to another episode here on the KrustyKraft server. Today is episode 25, yes it is, and today we're going to be building the best Shulker farm ever in the end, which is going to be awesome. And this farm is called the Shulker Sandwich. This is by a guy named KrustyKraft. He has a tutorial for it, and this is going to be my tutorial for it, so it's kind of a split episode between a Let's Play and a tutorial. So I'm going to be doing it purely in survival, and we're going to be grabbing all the shulkers from this end city right here, which is going to be pretty fun. We're going to be using some rails to transport them across my new space station that I've built in KrustyKraft here. So as you can see here, this is my new space station bridge. This is just the beginning of it. It's going to be a tube, kind of like what we just flew over. And as we come out here, you can kind of see that we have this area. This is going to be our new industrial district, and we have two of these areas, one over here and one over there. So far we have two of these areas, but there's going to be more. This area right here is going to be our storage area, so we're going to have a storage area inside of this area. And then over here we have another area in which we're going to have all of our mob farms, which is going to be our Enderman farm and a Shulker farm and anything to do with mobs over here. So now that we're in the area, you can see a little bit more clearly. This is going to be the mob district, and this is going to be our storage area right here. And we're going to be bringing all of the shulkers for today's Shulker farm from this end island that's at the end of this bridge right here. So if we come all the way across here, all right, here's the end island that we're going to be bringing the shulkers from, and there's the end city that we need to get our shulkers from. And since you can put shulkers in a minecart, I think we're going to use rails to get all the shulkers out there. So I'm going to go ahead and take these rails that I have in my inventory here. We're going to start right here and continue all the way to our loaded chunk radius. Each one of these white squares right here represents a chunk border right here, so there's 16 blocks in between the center of each of these squares. And so I'm taking the powered rails and putting them at the beginning of the chunk and going all the way across just like this, and then adding another powered rail right here, and it seems to be working pretty well. As you can see, there's enough powered rails to get me from powered rail to powered rail. So now we've made it to our first loaded chunk radius, and here we are at the very last rail that we're going to place right there. There we go. Alright, so here's our loaded chunk radius. This is going to be our storage system, and as I said earlier, that's going to be our mob district. So what I've done here is I've prepared this border right here, and I've made it to where we can put rails around our torches just like this, and around the corners right here, we've got an extra block where we can place rails in right here. So all we're doing here is taking the rails around these corners just like this, and then bringing it all the way across, and then once we get to the end of the chunk, we go ahead and place in ourselves a powered rail just like this. Go ahead and come to the outside of the chunk, place in a lever, flick that down just like this, take your regular rails and go around the corner just like so, and then continue on. Oh my goodness, we made it all the way this far and I ran out of rails. Look at how close we are. So now we're here back at the base, and I thought it'd be a good idea just to grab a shulker box of wood, a shulker box of cobblestone so we can make plenty of levers, and then also another shulker box of iron blocks. So here we are back at the project area for today, and so we're going to set these three shulker boxes down here and go ahead and craft ourselves up some more rails. So now we're at the end of where we need to place our rails in, so this is going to be the last rail that we're going to place in for now. So let's go ahead and power that one, that's good. Alright, so now our Shulker farm, I believe we're going to go ahead and build this way in the back over there, right in the center, right in the back area. So here's where our rail line ended, and now I'm starting to extend the bridge out across our industrial district here, and we need to go ahead and continue doing that all the way to where we're going to build our Shulker farm. So now we've extended the bridge and the rail line all the way out to where we're going to be building the Shulker farm, and I've done some layout here for the Shulker farm. So what we've done here is we've gone and taken some stone to mark out the center of where our farm's going to be. And this is kind of scary being over the void here in survival. But nonetheless, this is where the center of our farm's going to be, and it's going to extend out 15 blocks in every direction, which I have marked out here with this stone block right here. So this is going to be pretty much where our hoppers are going to be for our collection system. So the first thing that we're going to do is build a shulker box loader right here. So I've gotten started on my shulker box loader, and I'm using quartz and prismarine lanterns for the floor here, and this is going to be the shulker box loader insides, and then out back we're going to be using copper blocks for the redstone, and I'm using honeycomb to go ahead and wax them. So now we have our shulker box loader all fully complete, and this is going to be the drop chute for where the items are going to fall down. So we're going to go ahead and put some glass in there just like this, and now that is complete. And now if we hop on down, we can see that the front of our shulker box loader looks pretty good. And if you guys would like to build this particular shulker box loader, this is going to be the manual shulker box loader on my channel. I have a tutorial for that, and I'll leave that link up in the top right hand corner there for you guys. So now I've made this water collector right here. I'm going to put a piece of ice and break it, and then it'll flow into this area where the hopper is, and so that way all the shulker shells that come into the farm will come into this water stream and get pushed right into my collection system. So far, everything that you see has been done by me. The next bit of it is going to be the Shulker farm, which I'm going to leave the tutorial for KrustyKraft's Shulker Sandwich farm up in the top right hand corner there for you guys. It's a really cool farm, and that's what I'm going to be building here. And in his tutorial, he does a little bit differently than I'm going to be doing it, but nonetheless, This is our collection system. So he says to bring these blocks in right here, and you're gonna have a water stream going out from there, and from this side bringing all the items into here. And this farm is 15 blocks wide from the center out on each side, so it's a total of 30 blocks wide. So starting from right here, this is gonna be the center of our farm. We're gonna go out 15 blocks, and this first front is gonna be 8 blocks because that's as far as water flows. We don't want it to go down in here, so we're gonna go, this is 1 block, this is 2, okay? So starting right here is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So since we have that first block out there, this makes an 8 block run. Then we're gonna go from 9, then we're going to go up, we're going to go 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So we're 15 blocks out, and this is a run of 6. This is a run of 8, and then the last one here is where the items drop in, and we did that on both sides. Go ahead and grab your glass, and on the inside of the farm, you're going to come up just like this, and you're going to build a wall going all the way out to the edge of your water stream right there. On this side, which is the outside of our farm, we're going to bring it up by 2 blocks like this and extend it all the way to the last water stream up there. So when you have that complete, the glass that's on the inside of your farm, you see can go all the way to the first water stream right here, and then on top of that, you're going to place a row of solid blocks all the way from tip to tip. And then on this side, we're just going to use glass because this is decorative and we want to see inside. So once you have all that complete, be sure to throw a block on the end of it just right there, and do the same thing on this side as well. We're going to go throw a temporary block right here, go and put one right there, and then put yourself in a block right there, and then you can break out your temporary block. Then you need to put some water in here, so we're going to grab a water source, and for us that's going to be ice. So go ahead and put your water source right there, go ahead and break it. You should see that your water flows all the way to the middle right here, but doesn't flow inside, and you should be able to do that on both sides, and you should have the same result. So if we break a piece of ice right here, we should see that the water flows all the way to the center, but doesn't flow in. Once you got your water in place, then go ahead and come to this block right here. We're going to go ahead and count 8 blocks in this direction away from the water stream. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then we're going to come up by a temporary block right here. We're going to go ahead and take our blocks again, and we're going to count out by 7 this time. So go ahead and remove your temporary block, and then count out by 7 blocks. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then up by another temporary block, and then go ahead and do the exact same thing 2 more times. So now we have our blocks, and they're looking like this. And so this block right here is going to be an 8 block run right here, and then the next one up is going to be a 7 block run, and then another 7 block run, and another 7 block run. So go ahead and do this, and then spread these out all the way across the width of your farm. Oh no, I've got Endermen spawning on my platform, and I do not want to have an Enderman problem here. I'm going to go get some torches. Alright, I've got some torches down. The Enderman teleported down there on top of my area, and I think if I move far enough away from him, he'll probably just despawn. It looks like he already despawned, so we're good. Alright, last couple blocks going in, and this is what your platform should look like if you've got that all done. You should have a platform that's 7 blocks wide by 30 blocks long, and then another platform that's 7 blocks wide by 30 blocks long, another platform that's 7 blocks wide by 30 blocks long, and then one last platform that's 8 blocks wide and 30 blocks long that leads right into your water stream. Once your platform's complete, go ahead and build a wall around it. Go ahead and come to the front right here. Go ahead and put blocks right there to stop the items from going out, and then go ahead and bring your wall all the way across here just like this. And when you get to the end of your first area like this, go ahead and come up by 1 block right here and go and continue. Continue that wall all the way around your entire area just like this, all the way back to the front. And then once you have that done, come back to the front right here in the middle where your collection system is. Go ahead and break these 2 blocks of your wall. Go ahead and get rid of these, and then now that's your collection system, we're going to break 3 more blocks off to each side, 1, 2, and 3, just like this, and we're going to break 3 blocks over here, 1, 2, and 3. You should see that you have an 8 block wide area now. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Once you have that, we're going to go ahead and count up 16 blocks of glass. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. We want to fill all that in with glass. And this is what it should look like when you have that completed. It should be 8 blocks wide and 16 blocks tall. So once you have your glass wall in just like this, you're going to want to find the center of it. So you're going to come in 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to mark out the 2 middle blocks just like this. And once you have that in place, go ahead and bring those 2 middle blocks out here just like this. You're going to come over just like so. Go ahead and break out these 2 middle blocks right here. So now we know where our middle is, but 1 block away from our glass. So once we have this in place, now we need to go ahead and make a circle, and we're going to do that by doing this. We're going to come on to 1/2 of our center block right here, and we're going to count out 4 blocks, including this one. This is 1, then 2, 3, and 4, just like this. Then we're going to come over by 1. Then we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. So it's 4, 3, and then 2, just like that, and then 1, just like so. Then we're going to put one extra one, just like this, okay? So starting from here, we're going to reverse what we just did over there. So we have 4, 3, 2, 1, and then an extra one. Then we're going to go just like this. We're going to go 1, like so. We're going to come over. We're going to go 2, just like this. And then we're going to put an extra one in this direction now. Then we're going to come out here. We're going to go 3, 1, 2, and 3 with an extra one. We're going to come out to the side by 1, and then go 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like that. And you should see that the edge of your block brings you right up to the edge of your platform down there. So once you know that that's all correct, then make sure that you have 4 blocks right here, and then continue around this way. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to come out to the side. We're going to go 1, 2, and 3. And come out to the side. 1 and 2. Come out to the side, and then 1 plus an extra one, just like this. Then we're going to reverse it and go 1, and then over to this side, and then put 1, 2, just like that, with an extra one over here this time. Then 3, this is 1, 2, and 3 with an extra one. Then we're going to come right over here. We're going to do 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to look off the edge, and you can see that that brings you right up to this line over here. So now that I've done this twice, you're going to do this 2 more times and go all the way around your farm. Oh boy, I just messed with an Enderman, and now he's all pissed off at me. Let's go down here and kill him so we don't die. Well, that Enderman refuses to come down, and it looks like he just came down, but he's no longer mad at me. So I think I'm going to go ahead and fly away and get rid of all these Endermen. So no matter how far I fly away, when I come back, they still spawn on top of this ring because it's not lit. There's no torches up here. So you can place torches up here if you want to temporarily. That's perfectly fine. So once you have your area all lit up, then you should be able to come back to your glass right here and finish up your circle. And then once you have that done, you should see that it marries right back up with your original start point. So here's our middle block here for this side. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you can see, it meets right up with our circle right here. To get rid of the Enderman, I'm going to go ahead and fly away one more time now that our circle is all lit up. And that should deload them to the point where they won't respawn. And so now they should all be gone. And if I come back, I don't think there should be any over there. So let's go ahead and see. And it looks like they're all gone at this point. So that's very good. So now we can come back to our circle here. I missed it. But nonetheless, you're going to want to come back up here, and when you do, you're going to want to find the middle 2 blocks of your circle one more time, which is going to be the 4th block in. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like this. So this is the middle block on that side, then 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the middle block on that side. So once you find your middle 2 blocks, go ahead and bring this all the way across. You're going to stretch it all the way across to the other side. Once you reach the other side, go ahead and look, and then you should see that you have an area just like this where it meets up right in the middle on the other side. So once you have this across, go ahead and come over here to the other side over here, 90 degrees to that one. Then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to find the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like this. Mark that one, 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like that. So this is the middle one over here. Then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take this bridge out and go all the way across. And when you approach the end on this one, you should see that now you have a cross where it meets up right in the middle, just like this. And once you have that, go ahead and grab your glass. So go ahead and bring your glass out. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and come to these middle blocks right here. Go ahead and put glass in the corners just like this. Go ahead and put that in there on all 4 sides. And then once you have the glass in there, go ahead and get your pickaxe, and you're going to break these blocks out. Go ahead and break all those blocks out in between, just like so. Break out the entire middle, just like that. Stand on one of your glass blocks if you have to. And once you have that done, go ahead and make yourself a square of glass all the way around this area so the middle 2 blocks are open, just like this. So go ahead and fill all that in with glass, and then leave these blocks open. Now what you need to do is you need to take your solid blocks and go ahead and encase this whole area, fill it all in, and you might want to go ahead and put some torches down here to make sure it stays lit up. Alright, and so when you get that done, you should be looking just like this, where you have a big disc of blocks just like this. And then once you have that done, go ahead and grab your slabs, and now you're going to go ahead and take your slabs, go ahead and cover all of these blocks just like this. You're going to cover the entire top of this, and you're also going to come out over the edge here. You're going to place slabs in here just like this, and that'll make sure that none of the shulkers spawn on top or on the sides. So I would say definitely start with the ring around the outside first, just like this. Get all your slabs in so you have a ring all the way around. And then once you have that done, go ahead and do your slabs up top. And if I were you, I would go ahead and leave the torches in place until the very end. Then go back around, knock out all the torches, and replace them with slabs. Once you get to the middle, go ahead and leave your glass blocks right here empty, and then skip them, and then just continue placing slabs on the other side. Alright, and once you reach the end and you place your last slab, go ahead and go around to all your torches, go ahead and break them out and replace them with slabs just like this. Once you replace all your torches with slabs just like this, then what we're going to do is we're going to come right to the middle right here, and we're going to come down out of here. So go ahead and fall right down into here, get yourself down out of here. I don't have feather falling 4 boots on this, so that took quite a bit of damage. I'm not wearing my armor because I don't want to lose it in the void just in case I die. But nonetheless, you're going to want to try to get directly underneath that hole. Grab yourself some temporary blocks and go ahead and pillar up to that area. So once you're up here just like this, go ahead and get yourself down below the platform just like this where you can see underneath, and then once you're here, go ahead and come down by 1 more block. So you're actually 3 blocks below the top. And once you have that, go ahead and place in a circle just where your glass blocks are, but down below. So we're going to come right out here, go ahead and place in some temporary blocks in a circle just like this. And you should be directly underneath all of your glass just like so. So go ahead and build yourself a 4x4 square just like this. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take ourselves some end rods, and we're going to go ahead and place our end rods in just like this. We're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to come right over here and go 1, 2, just like that. Now we can go ahead and break out all of these temporary blocks. And once you've broken out all your temporary blocks, go ahead and take some glass, go ahead and pillar up just like this, and you should see that it's dead even with your end rods just like that. Now I gotta get back up there. And since I'm down here already, I'm gonna take this chance to go ahead and remove all of my temporary blocks. So once again, once you have that in place, you're gonna wanna have that glass down in there just like this. So go ahead and finish up this square in here. Go ahead and place all this glass in here right in the middle of all of your end rods just like so. You can go ahead and take some armor stands and go ahead and place these in here facing you just like this. You're going to place these in all around on every side just like so. Once you place your last armor stand in, go ahead and grab your glass panes. Then on the 4 blocks that you have here, go ahead and put glass panes in there just like this. Then grab yourself a boat, and you're going to make a way out of this thing. Since you can't really jump out of here, we're going to go ahead and place a boat so you can kind of L2 on it and get yourself out. So we're going to place our boat in right here. It doesn't matter which corner you place it in. So once you have that, now you can get yourself out. So if we go like this, now we're out just like that. Once you have all this set up, you can grab your glass panes if you want to, and go ahead and place the 3 glass panes on the opposite sides of your boat like this, and that'll make it to where when you fall down in, you can kind of align yourself on these glass panes and it'll get you right in there. But you can't place one here and make it symmetrical because you can't even really see your boat, and the hitbox of the glass actually stops that. And I think I just placed a glass pane somewhere that I wasn't supposed to, but nonetheless, here it is. Nonetheless, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove these because I don't like the way they look. So once you have your AFK spot all done, this is what it'll look like underneath. And then once you have that done, we need to go ahead and place the water in here and get the water flowing down into this water stream. The only issue that I have right now is that Groova Guy actually used glass on the edge of his farm down here, and now that I'm thinking about it, if I go ahead and put water in, it's going to remove all my torches, and Endermen are probably going to spawn on the edge, and I don't have enough slabs in my inventory to go ahead and slab the whole thing, and I'm not going to be using glass, so I think I'm going to go home and get some more slabs. So here we are back at the base. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a stack of diorite here, and then go ahead and turn it into polished diorite slabs. There we go. Now we got ourselves 2 stacks of slabs. And now we're back. Next, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and grab our glass and our slabs and go ahead and continue on the edge of this wall right here. What we need to do now is we need to go ahead and mark out where our glass walls are going to be, because there's glass walls on all 4 sides of this, and then every other space is going to get a slab. So what we're going to do is we're going to come right here to the corner. We're going to count out 11 blocks. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, just like that, and then we're going to count out 8. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just like that. Okay, so now we should have 11 more on this side. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So therefore, you know that that's in the middle because there's 11 blocks on each side. Go ahead and do that on all the other sides. Once you've got your glass in place, it should look like this on all 3 sides, and then go ahead and take your slabs, if you're using slabs over here, and go ahead and slab off all of your blocks. When you get to the glass, skip the glass, go ahead and go all the way across, and then go ahead and continue on the other side. And once you're done placing all of your slabs and you reach the very end, go ahead and remove your temporary blocks if you have any, and go ahead and finish up all of your slabs just like that. There we go. Alright, so once that's all done, now we can go ahead and take our glass. We need to come back over here. Go ahead and grab yourself a temporary block to get yourself up here. And then once you have that in, go ahead and grab your glass and go ahead and pillar up by 3 blocks. And you're going to go ahead and take this all the way up to the top of your farm. And you'll see that it should marry up right with both slabs up there. So once you're reaching the top up here, then you should be able to see that it's reaching your slabs right in line just like this. So as you can see, if we match that up, that goes all the way to that edge, and if we come over here, you can see that that comes to this edge. So if we bring this on down, you want to come all the way down here just like that, so you have a glass wall going right in between these slabs. So go ahead and fill the rest of this all in. So as I was building this, I noticed that some more Endermen were coming in here, and I noticed that Endermen were spawning on these slabs right here. I don't think Shulkers can spawn on slabs, but the Endermen are, and that's really starting to bother me. So I think I'm going to get more slabs and go ahead and slab these off as well. So once you have that done, the edge of your farm should look like this with a double slab. And once you cure your Enderman problem, then go ahead and put these glass walls in on all the other sides. And when all of your walls are finished, they should look like this. And then go ahead and get yourself out of your last wall, finish that one up, and then go ahead and break your block and get down out of this one. Now that that's all done, go ahead and grab your water sources. For me, that's going to be ice today, and we're going to go ahead and place ice in the back row here, the highest level up here. And I believe you can go ahead and skip a couple blocks, and if we break these out, you should see that they create an infinite water source there in the middle, and it should flow all the way down to the bottom down here. And we should see that it doesn't flow down into the water stream, but it stops just right there at the edge. So that's what we want to do all the way across all the way of the back up here. Alright, so I've placed all my ice in, and now all I need to do is break it. So if we go just like this, we should have water sources going all the way across. We should have ourselves a nice water stream going all the way down. So if we get all this, let's go ahead and continue getting the rest of this. There we go. Now we got a nice line of water coming on down, and it looks like it's nice and even coming all the way across. All of our torches and everything is coming on down. It'll all get collected in your collection system, and it looks like everything's good to go. Yes, it is. Alright, so once you have that in place, go ahead and get rid of all of your temporary blocks. If you use blocks like I did, be sure to go all the way up to the top and remove everything all the way up to the top. Once you've removed all of your temporary blocks out of the farm, go ahead and remove everything all the way up to here. And then once you have all that done, now we need to take our rails and we need to actually build a temporary rail system that's going to get us into the Shulker Farm. As you can see here, I'm just stair-stepping all the way up to where rails can go on here. So whenever I make a 90-degree turn, I leave a 2-block gap so the rail can turn and then one can go up. So make sure that the rails will work. And then you want to bring that all the way up to where you have a 2-block gap up here. I'm not quite done going up yet. But the idea is that you want to pillar up just like this, or staircase up all the way like this until you reach the rooftop. So go ahead and continue all the way up until you reach the top. And once you've got yourself a staircase that gets you all the way up to the top just like this, where you can't really jump, then go ahead and take your temporary blocks and go ahead and string them out just like this. You're going to make a little bridge going all the way across, and it looks like I'm out of temporary blocks. So now that I've grabbed some extra blocks, we're just going to bring this just past our AFK spot just like this, about 1 block past your armor stands right there. Then what we want to do is we want to take ourselves an activator rail. We're going to come right here to our platform right in line with this. We're going to put an activator rail right here just like that, and that's going to kick all of the shulkers out of their carts. So go ahead and take yourself a lever and power that one. So anytime the minecart rail comes over here, the shulker is going to get ejected. It's going to want to spawn on the ceiling here, and then it's going to look at us and it's going to want to shoot us. And then as long as we have multiple shulkers in here, they're all going to get ejected in the same area, and hopefully they can start shooting at each other, because when they shoot at each other, they duplicate. So once you have this in place, go ahead and place all of your rails in, and then make sure you have powered rails in here too, so be sure to put those in and be sure to power them. On the uphill slopes, be sure to put in 2 powered rails. Be sure to power those off to the side just like this, and then put in 2 regular rails just like this, and then 2 more powered rails. So as you can see here with my staircase, where I've turned, I've left a 2-block flat spot right here, so that way we can place down the rails, and then that way they can turn coming on downhill just like this. And when you're all said and done, you should see that the final rail completes up the track and brings it all the way up to the top. Once you have your rail in place, I recommend testing it, so go ahead and put yourself down a cart, go ahead and push yourselves forward, and go ahead and see if you get pushed all the way up to the top, and eject it out just like we want all the shulkers to do. So right here, we should get ejected out. And there we are, and our minecart fell down here, which we can go collect now. If you need to during this process, feel free to place in some temporary blocks just like this to make sure that you can get yourself out of the farm when you fall off your rail. If you want to stop the shulkers from spawning on your rail line, you can take buttons and go ahead and place it on the sides just like this. This will keep them from spawning. Do that on all sides if you want to do it on all the sides, and then make sure you go down beneath and go ahead and do underneath. I'm not going to be doing the whole thing because I don't think it's going to be an issue, because this is all temporary and we're going to remove it anyway. And if any of the shulkers get stuck to the side when we remove the block, they're going to teleport up here anyway. The only issue is I got a feeling this is going to be hard to remove because all the shulkers are going to be shooting at us. But either way, when you get your rail line done here at the farm, now you need to go ahead and grab yourself some temporary blocks, grab yourself some mine carts, both of your rails, grab some levers, some buttons, and some pistons, and then you're going to need to go to wherever you're bringing your shulkers from. So for me, I'm bringing my shulkers all the way down here, and we're going to be going to this end island that's coming up right here. And then we have an end city that's going to be right to my right, coming up here shortly, and this is where we're going to be getting all of our shulkers from. So I need to take my rail line from right here where we left it, and then we need to bring it all the way to this end city where the shulkers are. If you have any inclines to go up, make sure you have enough powered rails to make sure that the shulkers and you in the minecart can go up that hill, and then make sure that you're spacing out all of your powered rails on flat ground about 15 blocks away from each other. And be sure that whenever you're placing powered rails that you're powering them. Once you start beginning to approach your end city, then you're going to want to make sure that you know what's inside of it. You're going to want to target the area that has the most shulkers in it, so you don't have to build multiple areas of these temporary rails. So I know that in this end city, most of my shulkers are in this tube, so I'm going to be aiming for that tube. So now that I'm about right here, I'm about 45 degrees up from there, so I'm going to start staircasing my way up, and this is in my way, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that, and I'm going to go ahead and take my temporary blocks, and I'm going to start making a staircase going up so I can put my rails going up. So now I've built my staircase going up to my end city, and as you can see, I was pretty spot on. I'm right here at the bottom of it, which is right where I wanted to be, and I recommend aiming towards the bottom of your targets because you can always go up and the shulkers are going to be able to come down, so that's always good. So go ahead and place in your final temporary block. Then at this point, you're going to want to peek inside and see if you can see where shulkers are. And you don't really want to let them see you because you don't really want to get hit. You just want to figure out where they're going to be. And see, as they see me, they spit out those bullets and then they're going to come and shoot me. So really, you kind of want to break the eyesight and you just want to figure out where they are. So do whatever you can to try to figure out if you can get to them and try not to let them shoot you because this is going to be difficult. So now what we want to do here is we actually want to make sure that our rail line here is at the same value. We want it to go right underneath that shulker right there. We want it to go right by it, and that way we can send a minecart by it and it'll pick it up. Uh-oh, it looks like I got hit by one of these bullets, but if you do, just kind of make sure that you don't fall down too far. So at this point, I've got two shulkers that I can see. I can see that one right here. You can barely see it underneath that block. I'm trying to not get eyesight with it, and see, that's because they shoot me when I get eyesight with them. But nonetheless, there's two shulkers right there, and as you can see, they're 2 blocks above this purple line right here, this square block line right here. That's 2 blocks above that. So I think if we go ahead and take a rail going right through this area, we can pass a rail going by both of those shulkers. We might be able to pick both of them up. So now on the outside of the building, I know that I'm going to want my rail line coming in right there, and we're going to want to get rid of the block that's above it so the minecart can go right through and pick up the shulkers. So now what we need to do is we need to get these temporary blocks for our rails. We need to get these to where it can go up and onto that block, which really shouldn't be too hard because I know that in every world, all your shulkers are going to be in a different location. So you definitely just want to make sure that you can get up to that area just like this. And I think I've actually built that incorrectly. I think we need to come out by a block just like this. And we need to come up here just like this, right there. There we go. All right. So now our rail can make a U-turn and then start to go up just like this. So once we have that in place, we want to go ahead and double check our positioning here. So we're going to go ahead and break a block right here. And that is the correct spot. And I need a temporary block because I don't have that block now. So now I've got all these guys shooting at me. There we go. So now that we know that we're in the right location, I believe. I want to take one more look because I didn't really get a good look. But it looks like this is the location that I'm going to want. Oh boy, here we go. Let's see if we can make sure that we don't fall too far here. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to try to land right back on top of my block there when this wears off. So when this wears off, there we go. All right, so now we're right here. So it looks like, I want to say we're in the right spot. I think we are in the right spot. So I'm going to stop being nervous now, and I'm going to start getting ready for this. So when I fall back down, I'll show you what to do next. So now that I'm all done floating up in the air and we're back down here, what we're going to want to do is we're going to place a piston in, and we're going to want to push blocks across so we're not actually in there placing blocks. And that's not too hard to do, so don't be afraid of it. Just go ahead and place in a block just like this, and maybe place in another block just like that to place your piston on so it's facing in this direction just like so. Then grab yourself a button. You're going to go ahead and press that button, and it's going to push the blocks in there just like this. And then just go ahead and keep filling in the blocks until the piston can't push any more of them. Once your piston won't push any more blocks and it's just going like this, then you might want to go ahead and peek inside and make sure that you've made it all the way across. And so I'm going to go ahead and break this block here. Let's go ahead and see if our blocks have made it all the way across, which they have. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back so we don't get shot. And now what we need to do is we need to do the same thing. We're going to place a piston up here, but this time instead of blocks, it's going to be rails. So go ahead and place in yourself a powered rail first. Go ahead and put that in there just like this. That'll go ahead and make sure that wherever the shulkers end up, when we shove the cart in, what we want it to do is we want it to go in, and then we want it to bounce back and come right back at us. So once you have your first powered rail in, go ahead and put a button on your piston, go ahead and push it in there just like this, and then go ahead and take some regular rails and go ahead and push those right along with it, and you should see that they line up just perfectly. So we're going to do that all the way across until our piston stops pushing. Once you've reached the push limit, you'll see that your piston won't push anymore, and once you've done that, then go ahead and break your piston. You're all done with that one, and go ahead and break this piston as well. You're done with that. And then you should see that your rail line goes right by your shulker box, which it does, which is perfect. And it looks like our other one disappeared and went out there. It actually teleported, so that's good that we actually still have one right here. So once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and take this last rail here. We're going to go ahead and turn that into a powered rail right here, and we're going to go ahead and power it. Make sure you place a lever, not a button on that. And then hindsight, looking back, because this is the first time I'm doing this, I've never actually done this before, I would have placed a redstone block down back there to go ahead and power my rail, because now I'm going to have to get back there, I'm going to have to put a lever on it and somehow power it around all these shulkers. So what I'm doing now is I'm literally just building a bridge around the outside of this thing. We're just going to go ahead and do this because we're going to have multiple shulkers coming out of it, and I figured we might need a rail line at some point around this area. So here's the block in which it should be the end right here, and it looks like we have a shulker on the outside. There we go. And if any shulkers on the outside are being a pain in the butt, then just feel free to kill him because you're going to have plenty more inside. So once he's there, go ahead and see if you can get him with the shell open. There we go. Okay. You might get hit, but again, just make sure that if you do get hit, that you don't fall too far. So let's go ahead and take some of these extra blocks that we don't need here, and I believe our rail should be right there. There it is. So I would have put a redstone block on the bottom of that, then I wouldn't have had to worry about this, which would have been much easier, hindsight looking back. But now that I'm over here, I'm going to go ahead and put a lever right here, flick that in the on position, so now we should be able to go back. And now what we need to do is we need to take rails, and we need to go ahead and connect them all the way up to where we started, because our rail line, woohoo, starts right here, and we need to bring it all the way down to over there. Here we go again. So as I was saying, you're going to want to bring this rail line up here just like this, and once you have that in place, you're going to want to make sure that that's correct. So go ahead and bring in your powered rails just like this, and go ahead and bring those in so that way you can make it up. Then make sure those are powered too, and you're going to want to connect this up all the way down your stairway, all the way to your original rail line down there. That is, of course, if you're planning on going back up this thing. However, if you're just going to be coming down it and you're going to be flying back and forth, then you can just use regular rails going all the way down. So I'm feeling pretty confident now. I've double checked my rail line. Everything is good. I believe everything is connected all the way through, all the way to our Shulker Farm, which is way out in the void out there. And since we're going to be going out over the void, I'm going to go ahead and take my armor off, which is kind of sketchy because we're dealing with shulkers, but I don't think we're going to get shot here. So I think we're going to go ahead and leave our elytra on just in case we get ejected for some reason. I've got my rockets. Let's go ahead and put those in our hotbar so we can be prepared. And then we also need to get our mine carts here. So let's go ahead and get our mine carts. There we go. All right, and then let's go ahead and break our ender chest. And actually, let's go ahead and put our diamond or our tools away here too. And it looks like I'll go ahead and take that because that's more valuable than this. I'll go ahead and take my pick back and put my arrow in there. So be sure that if you're doing this out over the void that you put all your valuable stuff inside your ender chest so you don't lose it. You can go ahead and break it. And then go ahead and head back up to the top. Don't look at any endermen. And then make sure that you can get all the way up there. So we're going to go ahead and head back up there right now. Oh my goodness, look at this. Our shulker box has, looks like it's teleported somewhere, and now it's no longer in the position that we did, so we're going to have to do this all over again somewhere else. So now I've got my armor back on, and I can see a shulker box right there that's shooting at me right there. Here it comes. And so that means that right above that square purple block, right here up above it, it looks like we can put a rail line in there, and we should be able to collect that shulker box. So now I've got a new staircase coming up here, and now I believe if we break out our block here, we should be able to see our shulker box is right there. Yes, it is. So we need to put that block back. There we go. All right, so now that we know that we're in the right location, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take a piston, push these blocks over, and then take another piston, push some rails over. So now I've got my pistons set up, and I'm ready to do this, and I'm going to do it twice. I'm going to do 2 pistons at once now. So now that I've done this once, I've kind of got a little bit of an idea of how to do it a little bit better. So we're going to take a block and a button so we can power both these pistons at once. We're going to take this block, we're going to replace that with a redstone block so it'll power our powered rail right there so we don't have to go all the way around. And so now we should be set and ready to go. So let's go ahead and press this button. That'll go ahead and push both of those across. and we can go ahead and place in a stone block or a temporary block, and then a regular rail, and then go ahead and do the exact same thing until they'll stop. Oh boy, looks like we have a shulker box right there. I better, I wonder if that's going to be okay there, because he's not shooting at me. So I've gone ahead and placed a temporary block down to block the eyesight from the shulker, because when those guys shoot and they shoot each other, they might teleport outside, and that could be very bad. So I think we've got like one more rail to do, so let's go ahead and place that in, see if we can get that across, and let's see if we can do one more time. Let's see if we got that. Okay, so that's the last rail that we're going to have. So now we need to go ahead and put a powered rail right there. That's going to make sure that our minecart gets all the way in and across. And I think at that point now, we should be ready to go. Let's go ahead and see here. If we go just like this, if I scoot back here, we should see that, yeah, this rail line goes by both of those shulkers. So let's go ahead and get ready to do that. Let's go ahead and break our piston setup here. And let's go ahead and connect all of our rails up and make sure that they're all powered if they need to be. Okay, I've gone ahead and connected up my rail line. It's all ready to go. I've taken away my other rail line now, so now this is all connected up. And now we're ready to get these shulkers. And I'm a little excited and a little nervous at the same time. So this is my first time getting a shulker inside of a minecart, so we'll see how it goes. And I think it's going to work. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place down this minecart. It's going to pick up a shulker, hopefully bounce back, and the shulker is going to go downhill. We're going to go ahead and throw down our minecart, which I have 2 minecarts right here, and we're going to go ahead and follow it all the way to the Shulker Farm. Let's see if that works. I'm crossing my fingers, and I've got all my gear inside of my ender chest. I've got all my tools and stuff inside of my ender chest, except for my pick, so I can break it. But nonetheless, I've got very minimal materials inside of my in my inventory here because I'm going over the void. So let's go ahead and see if this works. Let's go ahead and put a minecart down here, push it up there, hopefully get a shulker. It looks like we got a shulker. Is it going to come back? It's coming back. Sweet deal. We need to get in and follow it. Let's go ahead and follow it all the way to the farm. I'm going to continue filming all the way to the farm. I'm not going to make any cuts. You guys are going to see the whole thing and make sure that it all goes well. And it looks like you can get hit by those bullets, and it doesn't matter if you're inside of a minecart, which is cool, so we don't have to worry about that, except for my armor, which is not cool, and I'm about to die, and this is not good. We need to fly, so we're going to fly and make sure that this shulker gets there correctly, because I'm starting to lose health, and so we're going to go ahead and make sure that this shulker gets there no problem. So let's go ahead and land here real quick. He's still coming, that's good. So let's go ahead and make sure that he's going to continue to come. Alright, that's good. I'm going to get my food in my inventory here so I can eat, so I don't die. Alright. So, alright, looks like he's right behind us still. That's good. You need to keep this guy loaded so the minecart continues to keep moving. So you need to kind of follow this guy as he goes along, which is very, very important. So we're going to go all the way across over here, because we should be able to land right here just fine. There he is. He's coming. He's coming. Let's go ahead and continue going. Okay, there's our shulker right there. He's coming in. This is so exciting right here, guys. Oh my god. My first shulker in a minecart, and it's going well. Alright, let's go ahead and see if we can continue with this guy here. Alright. I'm so excited to see what happens when he gets inside the farm here. Okay, so he's going up into the farm. He's going up and in. Let's see what happens here. I wish I could... Okay, looks like he did spawn. Where did he spawn at? Did he spawn up on the roof? Looks like he spawned on the rail? How do you spawn on the rail? So when the shulker goes in, you definitely need to make sure you break your minecart, because my minecart actually just fell in here just now, so we're going to go ahead and get it out here real quick. But yeah, you definitely need to make sure that you don't do what I just did and let your minecart fall all the way down there, because it's going to go in your storage system, which is not a big deal. It's just going to fall down into this hopper. Let's go ahead and take out all of our items here. So now I've put all my armor back on, and we're ready to go see this shulker here. I don't want to die here. He's probably going to shoot us, but I want to make sure that everything's going well, and because he spawned it right there on the rail. How does that happen? That's exactly right where I need all my other shulkers to go. How do you spawn on a rail when there's a rail there? That makes no sense. So literally, look at this. Check this out. While I'm flying around here because he's hitting me, you can see that the rail is inside of him. They can spawn on rails? That's ridiculous. I didn't know that. So since he's up there now, I'm going to go ahead and take some temporary blocks. We're going to pillar on up to try to get up to where he's at and break the block that he's on, so hopefully he'll teleport to the roof. Okay, so now I'm directly underneath the shulker. Let's see what happens when I break this block. Are you going to go up on the roof? Where'd you go? You went down here? Oh my goodness. Okay, so basically, I have a feeling we're going to need to make sure that there's no spawnable blocks here except for the ceiling. So I might have to remove all this, make it all out of glass. So that might be a good idea. So because I don't think they're going to spawn that far away once they hit this activator rail, they're only going to go about probably 4 or 5 blocks away. So I'm going to come about that far away from it, which is right here where the top is. I'm going to go ahead and start breaking these rails and replacing all the blocks with glass. Let's get our glass blocks out here. We're going to basically just rebuild this with glass. So now I've got all these blocks replaced with glass, and I'm breaking the last one here. So let's go ahead and put that in here now too. Go ahead and put your activator rail back, and then go ahead and put all your regular rails back in, and then make sure that you have powered rails in here to make sure that they continue to come up. And once you have that in place, go ahead and connect up all of your other rails just like this, and then wherever your activator rail is, you're going to need another block off to the side here, just like that, and don't let that guy hit you. And then grab yourself a lever down here and go ahead and power your activator rail so he does eject out of the minecart. So now that we have a shulker there that's kind of stagnant and he's not in the correct position, I think we're going to try to coax him to come up here. So I'm going to place in those other blocks right there, and then I think I'm going to come on down here, and I'm going to break the blocks out from underneath him so he has nowhere else to go but up. And so let's see if we can do that here. If we break these 2 blocks, we should be able to break line of sight with him just like this. So if that happens to you guys, this is how I would do it. And I'm going to wait now until I fall back down. Thinking about that twice, I think I'm going to use glass blocks for my temporary blocks, because that way he can't spawn on them. So now that we're up here, we're going to go ahead and break this block right here. Let's go ahead and break that block. Okay, he transferred to there. Let's go ahead and break this block. Let's go and break that block so he has nowhere else to go but up. Where'd he go? Where did he go? He's over here now. Now he's on the ceiling. That's right where we want him. Perfect. Alright, and then if you had to do what I just did, go ahead and remove all of your temporary blocks. That way there's nothing but glass up there and the rails. And now we should be good to go get ourselves another shulker. If you had to do what I did and you had to eject out of your minecart, make sure that you pick your minecart back up before you send another shulker, so that way nothing bad happens. Alright, so now we're back here at the end city, and it looks like our shulker is still there right next to our rail over there, so that's perfect. We're going to go ahead and send a rail in there and pick him up. And this time, I'm going to wait a little bit before I ride my rail. I'm going to let him get down a little bit away from me, because he'll still be loaded, and you just need to stay behind him just far enough to where he is loaded. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves 2 minecarts here. Alright, so last time was my first time I kind of panicked, so that's why that happened. So let's go ahead and put a minecart there. Let's go ahead and pick him up. So we're probably going to get a shulker now. Let's see if he comes back there with us. Is he coming back? Yes, he is. Cool. There he is. Okay, so now I'm going to wait until he's far enough away where he's not going to shoot me. So now he's down there. Let's go ahead and get ourselves in. Oh boy, my minecart just left me. Alright, let's go ahead and do this again. Let's go ahead and hop back in here. Let's see if we can do this here with the minecart. Alright. So he should still be close enough to be loaded. Let's go ahead and get in here and continue going. Alright, looks like he's good still. Looks like he's still rolling, so let's go ahead and roll behind him like this. I think this is going to be the safest way to do it. Alright, the Shulker Farm is in sight, and the shulker is going up and in here shortly. You should be able to see it going up the rail here momentarily, as we're almost there. Looks like he's going up right about now. There he is. He's going up there. Looks like he's going to go up and in. And it looks like everything went successfully. Let's go ahead and get up and in ourselves. Yep, he's on the roof there. Perfect. That's awesome. Sweet deal. Let's go ahead and break our minecarts and get 2 more. Alright, so now that we're ready to go, let's go ahead and get ourselves a minecart here. Let's put a minecart down there. Pick him up. There we go. Now he's on his way. And now it looks like I'm going to be flying the rest of the way over there. Alright, we are approaching the Shulker Farm, and the shulker is just ahead of me there, and he's about to go up, coming up right about now. There he is. Alright, so he's going up into the farm, and it looks like he went in there successfully too. That's awesome. Let's get ourselves up into the farm here, just like this. We'll get ejected, and we'll fall on out. We'll grab ourselves our minecarts, and we'll be on our way to go get some more. So now that you guys have seen me do this a couple times, you guys should be able to do this yourselves now. You guys have seen me do it 2 different ways, one on the outside, one on the inside with pistons. So with those methods, you should be able to get as many shulker boxes as you need inside your farm. And literally, we already have enough. We have 3 of them in there. But the more that you have, the faster it gets ramped up, because the more that there are, the more they hit each other and the more they duplicate. Alright, I've got set up for another one, so let's get this one now. So let's go ahead and push this minecart up there. We should get ourselves a shulker. There we go. Alright, he just shot me, which is fine. Alright, let's go ahead and follow him. Alright, and here he goes up into the farm, coming up right about now. He's going to be heading up. There he is. Alright, so now he's heading up into the farm. And he successfully got in there too. Look at that, he's up on top of the roof. Once you have a few shulkers in your farm, then you can come down here into the AFK area, and you should see that they all start trying to shoot, and these armor stands are going to protect you. The only thing is, though, is that we need some of these shulkers to be in line with each other, so their bullets end up hitting each other, so they duplicate. So if you don't have enough, then you might need to get more, and you might have to keep doing this until you have enough. Also, too, I've just noticed that we have a shulker box on the side of our rail, but I think I'm going to leave it there because when I destroy all of these, I'm going to destroy it from the bottom up, and he won't have anywhere else to go but on the ceiling. Alright, here's another shulker. Let's see if we can get him. There we go. Now he's on his way. Let's go ahead and follow him. Alright, he's going up and in now. Let's take a look. And he went up right on top of the ceiling, did he? I'm not sure if he did or not. I think he went on the side of the track here. Did he do that? I'm not sure which one he did. No, he went up on the ceiling. That should be good. Let's get our minecarts and get a couple more. Okay, I came down in my AFK chamber just to see if I did need any more. And it looks like some of these guys are starting to duplicate. I know that these two guys over here are fighting each other. Sometimes their bullets, see, he just hit that one. So as long as that's happening, then they will duplicate. And after about 10 minutes, they're still not really duplicating that much. They're mainly trying to shoot me. Every once in a while, they do shoot each other. So I think I am going to grab a couple more. Alright, here's another guy on the rooftop. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a lever on that block there. Turn it on. Can we turn it on? I need to turn it on. Let's get that guy. Turn it on. There we go. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and get a minecart. Let's go ahead and push it in there. He's in the minecart. Looks like he's going to go. Is he going to head off? Looks like he's good to go. Let's go ahead and follow him now. Alright, we're approaching the farm, and this shulker is now going to be on its way up. There he is going up, and he's going to get ejected, and now he's on the ceiling too. This place is looking insane now. Alright, here's another shulker box right here on the ceiling of the outside of the end city right here. So I've got my minecarts ready and our rails ready. Let's go ahead and get a rail on there. See if we can pick him up. There he goes. Alright. Uh-oh, now he's just sitting there. We need to push him off of there. Can we get you off of there? This is going to be difficult, maybe. We need to get you off of that before you kill me. Get him off of there. There he goes. Alright, now we just need to hook up the rails to get him down off of that. Alright, so now here's that shulker. Let's see if we can get him on this minecart rail here. Let's see if we can do that. So what we want to do is we want to see if we can get this guy down here somehow. Can we get you on a rail? Can I get you on a rail? Let's see here. There we go. We got him on a rail. Can we push him off the rail? We want to push him going down. There he goes. Alright, he's on his way. Sweet deal. Let's go ahead and follow him. Alright, and up he goes and into the farm. Now that we got him in the farm, what I'm noticing is that if we stand underneath these shulkers, then the other bullets tend to go towards those other shulkers, and they tend to hit each other. So maybe sitting in the AFK spot isn't the best way to get them to duplicate, but that's where you're going to be using the farm pretty much at. But it might be useful to put your armor on and go ahead and soak up a few bullets here, and just see if you can get them to duplicate. Alright, so now I think we've got enough shulkers in here. You can see that they're hitting each other constantly, and see, that's what you want to see. You want to see those red shulkers. Those are the ones that are taking damage, and now they're going to go ahead and duplicate. Now we got ourselves a shulker farm. So once you can clearly see that your shulker farm is working, then you're going to want to come here and remove all of your temporary blocks out of the farm, which might be a little bit difficult, but it's still something that we're going to have to do. So go ahead and throw your armor on, come up here, and go ahead and take these guys head on, you know. Okay, so maybe before you have so many shulkers in there, you might want to get your rails out of there, because now I'm having a pretty difficult time doing it. Okay, so I know that shulkers don't shoot at you as long as they don't see you, so my new strategy is going to try to use our temporary blocks as some shielding. So I'm going to try to get directly underneath these as quickly as possible, so none of them see me. And if I can just stay right here, none of them will fire at me. Let's see if we can just stay down in here. We want to stay right in here so they don't shoot anymore. Okay, so I've really had to resort to doing this the hard way now. What I'm doing is I'm literally building an encased staircase like this so they can't see me or get to me. And I'm just kind of carefully getting myself out here and just kind of placing in a few blocks at a time. See if we can do that here. Let's see if we can get ourselves down here. Need to place in a block just like this. Then we can get out here on the edge and go ahead and place in our side blocks like that. And it's very kind of tedious and sketchy because they're still firing at me. But it's the only way that I can actually get them to stop firing. Alright, so I've now reached the level where the glass is out of my head now, and I've staircased my way all the way up here. This was actually pretty easy to do. It was a little tedious, but it's actually not too bad because while you're doing it, you're hidden. So they don't really fire at you that often, and when you do, you usually have a roof over your head and walls on the side so you don't get spat out. So while you're doing that, go ahead and continue out to where you can reach the last glass block with your pick, which it looks like I can now. And then we should be able to go ahead and break the glass in the ceiling here just like this. There we go. All right, then what we want to do is we kind of want to tear down all of these blocks here as well. So as we back out of this thing, we're going to tear down all the temporary blocks and the new cage that we built. I'm also noticing that after you get done with the glass, that the shulkers are coming and sticking to my temporary blocks here, as you can see now. So what I'm going to do now is I need to go ahead and break this from the bottom up so they don't teleport down anymore. To keep yourself from being seen, I would suggest go ahead and blocking this up right here so that you can back up into your area without having to worry about them seeing you. And then as you back up into this area, make sure that you block everything below head level. So as you're mining out, go ahead and mine out the blocks that are down below, just like this. And then also to mine out the blocks that are at your feet level, just like that, and that'll go ahead and get rid of all of that without them seeing you. So now that we're done with that, we can scoot up one, we can break that, and then break everything out at feet level. Once you have all of your temporary blocks removed, then go ahead and make up some shulker boxes. So I've got some empty shulker boxes in, and before you load these up, double check your hopper over here. Go ahead and open it up, and you're going to see that there's some stuff in there that probably shouldn't be in there. There's some extra shulker shells too from when we were doing all that. So now that we have a clean hopper, now that that's all done, we can go ahead and open up this and throw in all of our empty shulkers. So now technically your farm is finished. You could just fly right up on top and use it right away, but because I'm going to be building a space station, I'm going to be inside of a tube here at my farm, and so I'm going to make a manual way to get up, which is going to be some bubble baiters. So I've got some soul sand, some magma blocks, and some ice so I can make water, and some glass to surround it in. And now that's all complete. Oh my god, this thing looks so epic. Look at this farm, man. This is one hell of a shulker farm here. Let's go ahead and go inside and use it. So now that we have this thing all ready to go, now we can just go right inside of our bubble baiter. It's going to take us all the way up to the top. We can come right out, get right into our AFK spot, and if we're right here, yeah, it's going to start up just like that. Oh, this is so satisfying. I can't wait to have a bunch of shulker boxes. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. This was a lot of fun. It was a little bit different doing a in survival tutorial along with a let's play. So that was really fun. So if you guys enjoyed that, be sure to smash the like button for me and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys next time. Whoop! Take it easy, everybody.